All right, so welcome to Chapter 3. In Chapter 1, we looked at pre-production. We looked at researching your image, researching images, researching your aesthetic, making sure you have all the elements you need, making a list of your elements, things like that. We storyboarded out. We made sure we knew foundational elements, which we use in Chapter 2, made sure we knew our smaller elements, and then we went to Illustrator and we created those in Chapter 2. So now in Chapter 3, I want to talk a little bit, just before we get going, on how to know when you can be done with your creation process. Because as far as we're concerned, our animation, mine and Greg's Reddit's here, was pretty straightforward. I have a lot of experience kind of knowing how to adapt aesthetics to motion graphic projects. But for you, when you're making it, sometimes it comes down to, are you happy with it? Do you look at it and do you think you're proud? But sometimes it also comes down to, can you show it to someone and can they understand it right away? If I have created this Reddit animation and I haven't necessarily animated it yet, but I'm designing all the components, putting in a lot of artistic work at this point. Before it was planning work. When someone looks at it, do they go, oh, that looks like Reddit? Or when you say, hey, I'm making this Reddit thing, take a look at it, and they go, oh yeah, that's not bad, stuff like. You have to be able to adapt to your own sense of taste and other people's senses of taste. So just keep that in mind. Of course, we want you to be happy with it, and of course, you want your audience to be happy with it. So don't be afraid to make iteration after iteration of your project. Again, taste and time. It's going to take a certain amount of time to achieve the level that you are able to perceive in your art. So now we're going to move into exporting. We're done in Illustrator. It was kind of a small project, but we're going to move into exporting. We're going to show you how to do vector images, how to bring those out, put those into After Effects in our case. And then we're also going to show you how to bring out PNGs, which are raster images. They're based in pixels that have transparency in the image. So you can bring that out, and you could also put that into After Effects if you wanted to as well. Okay, we're in Illustrator. We have our end of Chapter 2 project file up here. And in Illustrator, if you're going from Illustrator to After Effects, there are actually a couple really simple tools that Adobe provides to let you bring items in easily. Ignoring those for a moment and doing it the old-fashioned way, let's take a look at our artboards. Looks like we have 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And let's export each one of them as a PNG, because PNGs can hold transparency. As you can see, this white right here, we want that to be transparent, of course. And in Illustrator, I'm going to, instead of using the save for web and slicing, which some of you might be used to doing from back in the website building days, I'm actually going to use each of these artboards. It looks like we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 artboards. I'm going to export each artboard as its own image. To do that, just go up to File, and instead of going to Save As, go to Export. All right, down here you can see where we're going to the desktop. I'm going to click Use Artboards. It's going to use each one of these 5. And instead of saying all, if I wanted to select only one, let's say I had a revision, I could go and do just one. But I'm going to do all, and I'm going to have to go to the desktop. It's called Reddit Animation Elements after my project. And it's going to give each of them a number. And I believe it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just hit Export. Screen options, screen, 72 points per inch. Medium would be the resolution of, say, a newspaper. High would be the resolution of a photo. We are just going to stick with screen because everything we're working with will be displayed on a computer only. Hit OK. Go get some coffee, make yourself a martini. Okay, we're done. I'm going to save this project file, which of course you should be doing throughout the entire process of working in Illustrator. You should always be saving. And then I'm going to go back to my desktop. Okay, looks like everything came out, and this one is called Reddit Animation Element 04. Excellent. Looks like we have 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. We are good to go with that. Let's jump back into Illustrator quick and export some SVGs. Or actually, no, let's do EPS. These are both vector file formats. However, EPS tends to be more accepted in the Adobe suite. If you're using a 3D program, I've used Blender. SVG is the more accepted vector version that I see in those programs. Here we go. Let's save this first one first. I'm going to go up to File, and then we're going to go Save As. And here, we can go down to the bottom. It says the different versions of vector files and others, PDF, for instance, you could save. We're going to choose EPS, and then I'm going to click Use Artboards, and of course, all 1 through 5. And we're also going to go to the desktop. These are EPS, not PNG, so they will save next to and not over these guys. Let's hit Save. Oh, these options. Yes, we will just go with the default options. Okay, here we are on the desktop, and it looks like everything's saved well. I'm opening it up in a preview. There we go. This looks like we've got a little bit of a box. We'll see if that becomes an issue, but again, because this is a vector, we can scale however much we want, and compare that to the PNG version. It looks good to me. All right, let's go on to the next lesson and begin animating. You have 2 to-do items for this lesson. First, you want to understand, are you actually able to move on to this next chapter? Is your object good enough? Are your elements ready? Second to-do item is to export your elements.